Hi, this is Chris Tiller with Russ Lyons Sotheby's Realty. Today I'm going to talk to you about making an offer as a buyer in a multiple offer situation. So what does this mean? This means that you've gone through the process of getting pre-qualified, identifying a list of houses that you want to see, we found one that you love, and you're ready to make an offer. I call the listing agent and we find out there's multiple offers. This could be any number. I've seen all the way up to 30 offers, I kid you not. But it could be 2. A lot of times agents won't tell you, they'll just say we have multiple offers. So this means that we now have to compete. Normally, we will be given an opportunity to do what's called the highest and best. So let's use an example. So let's say they list on a Thursday, we go see it Friday. I want to write an offer. So we call, we have multiple offers, and what they'll tell me is, and this is just an example, but we're going to show the rest of the weekend and we will do highest and best offers by Monday at 9 a.m. So we have until 9 a.m. to discuss and come up with our highest and best offer possible. So what does this mean? In that conversation and in throughout the weekend as we discuss, I'll also have a conversation with that agent. I'll try to get an idea and a thought process on the seller. What's important to them? Maybe a close date's more important. They have to keep their appliances, There's a variety of different reasons on why somebody would sell and what's going to be a hot ticket item for them. I'll try to get an idea of that from the agent, and then that way I can relay to us, to you as a buyer, and then make our strongest offer possible. This happens a bunch of different ways. I do some research on the agent specifically. So how many homes have they sold in the last year? Are they new to the business? Have they been doing this a long time? Do they have a team? Do they have a relationship with this person? Did they sell them the house? How long have they been in the house? How old are the sellers? Do they have family? Where are they relocating to? All of these things come into play when I come to you with an idea of what I think we would be the best, strongest offer to do. We can discuss the specifics on how that would impact, but all of them come into play to help us present the best one possible. The other one is know where you're at in the hunt. So trying to understand from the agent, do you have any cash offers? Do you have anything above list price? There's some little basic questions that help influence where we're going. And then obviously running comps. Do I think it's high already? Do I think they listed it low to solicit higher offers? If cash is involved above list price, is it something we want to waste our time with and lose an entire weekend of house hunting when we could be out looking for something else that would be less competitive? So there's a bunch of things in that process, in that conversation that would help us make a determination on where we're going to go. So how to compete. So if you're in a multiple offer situation, you're a buyer, how are we going to compete with multiple offers? There's a bunch of different situations and tricks of the trade, I could say, that we can discuss about escalation clauses, going above ask, but then tiering it with an escalation clause, allowing them to pick close dates. So we'll go over how to compete against the next highest offer in different situations. We can also talk about opportunities to waive the appraisal, waive the inspection. I know that makes people nervous, but there are certain circumstances where this stuff is really going to set you apart and make it possible for you to get your dream home. So if you've been looking for a while, it may be an opportunity for us to really take advantage of some of the outlier items that can almost guarantee that you're going to at least be looked at extremely seriously. So what to offer and value. So this is a big one. I would say 90% of the people say, well, what should we offer? Because you're either confused, don't understand the process of multiple offers, you're frustrated because you've lost out on a couple. So depending on your circumstance, this question gets asked all the time. What should I offer? I can't give you that number. That's your money. I wish I could gamble with your money. We'd probably be going to Vegas a lot, but that's not the case. So what I can do is just trying to give you a picture and give you an idea of what do I think it's going to be of value to you, and I let you come up with that number. So normally what I do is, let's say the house is listed at 300, but your price range was 275 to 325. You had a $50,000 price range. This one's sitting right in the middle at 300. And we've seen 20 houses all in that range. So what I'll usually do, a good question to ask yourself is, if this house was listed at 325, not 300, would you still be interested? So if we had seen this house yesterday or the day before, and we walked in and the price was 325, let's just play a hypothetical. Would you still be making an offer? Because it's in your price range, you can afford it. And if you see the value based on the listings that we've seen, that 325, yeah, we'd still be making an offer. This is a great house. We could see ourselves being here. Then that's an offer you might want to think about making. So I wouldn't necessarily say, I'm not saying that you or suggest that you write 325, maybe we have an escalation clause. But the point is that try to find value in the house for you specifically. Just because they picked a sale price doesn't necessarily mean that's the value to you. Because again, economically speaking, the value of a house is the agreement between a buyer and a seller. So what we're trying to come up with is this house that you know, if you found out tomorrow that somebody outbid you by $1,500, would you be sad? And so we want to get to that price that you're so comfortable with that if someone beat you by $1,000, you would throw your hands up and say, then that's the house for them because they went just above. Don't focus on the list price in a multiple offer situation because again, it's value to you. And the way we're most competitive is again, coming in at the value that's most appropriate. So if we've made multiple offers on different properties and lost out, and we come across one that you're like, yeah, this one would work. You're not totally sold on it. This isn't the forever home for you, but it's going to work for the next 5 or 6 years. There's things you're going to want to change. You know, you may not want to go as high as you possibly can that maybe on the one that you fell in love with on the first house that you didn't quite understand the process. So maybe you only want to go 5,000 above, and it's, if you win, great, but if you don't, it's not a deal killer. So that's one you don't want to stretch for. So we're not going to stretch on every single one. We're just going to stretch to the value that you find the property, obviously within what you can finance, and then talk about how to make it the most aggressive from there. So list price, again, is just one circumstance. Again, close date is usually a big one. Appliances, HOA transfer fees, home warranty information, contingencies, 10-day inspection periods or 5-day inspection periods. There's a bunch of different things that we can do outside of just the price that we'll talk about to make it most aggressive. But from a value standpoint, that's the one that you guys should focus on most. And that's really how we're going to handle multiple offer situations. Each one's going to be specific, and we can go over different circumstances, but that's how to be most competitive. And we'll submit the best offer we can, and we'll keep moving forward.